If there's one thing every gamer knows well, it's that feeling of starting a game, and before you realize it, hours have flown by without even noticing. These are the titles that stick in your mind and won't let you turn off the console or PC. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. 22 games released over the years that are so addictive, they can easily keep you awake all night. Before we begin, if you enjoy this kind of content and want to give some support, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. The goal now is to hit 50K subscribers, and every subscription makes a huge difference. No more delays, let's jump right in. God of War Ragnarok is one of those games you can't put down after the first hour because every detail of its narrative carries weight. The story continues the journey of Kratos and his son amid the inevitable end of the Norse gods, with epic battles against mythological creatures and personal confrontations full of emotion. The plot manages to be both grand and intimate, balancing action with heartfelt moments. Gameplay is brutal yet refined. The Leviathan Axe and Blades of Chaos offer distinct styles that can be swapped in real time, creating a dynamic flow. Unlocking abilities and equipping new gear adds depth to combat, which demands both reflexes and strategy. Enemies are diverse, constantly forcing adaptation. The world is a visual spectacle, filled with interconnected realms offering unique surprises. Snowy forests, frozen deserts, and mysterious caves reinforce the game's scale. Each area also hides environmental puzzles and secrets that encourage exploration without losing the urgency of the main story. What makes Ragnarok so addictive is the mix of engaging storytelling and rewarding gameplay. Every mission adds something new, every fight has narrative weight, and every discovery broadens the scope of the journey. It feels impossible to turn off the console when you're living through a legend being written before your eyes. Persona 5 Royal hooks you from the very beginning with its mix of style, charm, and compelling storytelling. The plot follows a group of students who discover they can explore parallel worlds known as palaces, where they confront twisted versions of corrupt figures in society. It's a story about justice, freedom, and self-discovery told in a unique way. Combat is turn-based, strategic, and filled with possibilities. Using personas, exploiting enemy weaknesses, and chaining coordinated attacks creates exciting battles that grow more complex as new mechanics unlock. Outside combat, school life, and social interactions also shape progress, adding variety to the game's rhythm. The visual style is a show in itself. Bold colors, stylized menus, and dynamic animations turn even the simplest actions into something memorable. Tokyo's urban atmosphere is vividly portrayed, with details that make every location feel alive, full of personality and activities to explore. What makes Persona 5 Royal so addictive is how it balances daily life with epic adventure. You get attached to the characters, form bonds, and become invested both in colossal battles and in the smaller moments of interaction. It's an RPG that sustains interest in every detail, easily keeping you engaged for dozens of hours. Resident Evil 4 Remake revives one of horror's greatest classics with a fresh coat of terror that amplifies every detail. The story follows Leon on his mission to rescue the president's daughter in a remote village, but what should have been simple quickly spirals into a nightmare. The constant sense of being surrounded by unpredictable enemies never lets up, blending mystery, action, and horror at a relentless pace. Gameplay has been completely reimagined for modern standards. Sharper aiming and smoother movement make combat intense without losing the series' trademark weight. The new parry system adds strategy, allowing creative responses to brutal attacks. Inventory management through the case remains crucial, forcing tough choices about what to carry. Environments were rebuilt to heighten the oppressive atmosphere. The grim village, gothic castles, and hidden laboratories are now more detailed than ever, creating spaces that feel alive and terrifying. Dynamic lighting adds to the mood, making every shadow a potential threat. Exploration is never safe, even in familiar areas. What makes Resident Evil 4 Remake so addictive is its perfect balance of explosive action and psychological horror. Every encounter feels unpredictable, every boss unforgettable, and every new area raises the tension. The game not only honors the classic, but redefines what it means to fully grip attention in a survival horror. Diablo IV brought back the franchise's dark essence with a story steeped in corruption and fanaticism. The return of Lilith sets the stage for one of the series' heaviest narratives, with destroyed villages, cults spreading across the land, and characters tormented by faith itself. The plot isn't just about fighting evil, but surviving in a world where hope feels almost gone. Gameplay is fast, brutal, and deeply customizable. Each class has a unique style, from the barbarian's raw strength to the necromancer commanding armies of the dead. The talent and gear systems create endless build possibilities, encouraging experimentation and devastating combinations. This freedom keeps the gameplay fresh even after many hours. The open world is massive and full of identity. Desolate regions, grim swamps, and icy peaks provide both visual and gameplay diversity. Dynamic events scattered across the map make the world feel alive, always ready to surprise. But it's the decayed atmosphere that sustains exploration, reinforcing Diablo's unique identity. What makes Diablo IV so addictive is its constant reward loop. There's always another dungeon to clear, a legendary item to hunt, or a colossal enemy to defeat. Each victory fuels the next attempt, creating a rhythm that easily keeps you playing into the night without realizing how much time has passed. Celeste is a game that goes far beyond a simple platforming challenge. The narrative follows the journey of climbing a mountain, but it quickly becomes clear that the real obstacle lies within the protagonist, reflecting her struggles with anxiety, insecurities, and personal fears. This combination of physical and emotional challenge creates a powerful story that connects the player intimately to the climb. Gameplay is all about precision. Perfectly timed jumps, mid-air dashes, and wall grabs that demand mastery of timing turn each stage into a puzzle of reflexes and patience. Level design constantly teaches new techniques without ever making difficulty feel unfair. This progression keeps the pace demanding, but always rewarding. The pixel art style is simple yet filled with personality. The bright colors of the outdoor areas contrast with the darker settings inside the mountain, reinforcing the symbolism of the journey. Every environment is more than just background, it carries narrative weight, giving emotional meaning to the challenge. What stands out in Celeste is how it balances technical challenge with emotion. Every victory over an obstacle feels like more than mechanical progress. It's a step against personal limits. It's a game that inspires and moves, showing how true growth can be found in each small achievement. Dead Cells brought new life to the roguelite genre by combining fast-paced combat with exploration and maps that change every run. The narrative is minimal yet intriguing. You control an entity inhabiting discarded bodies in a mysterious prison, pushing through areas filled with enemies and secrets. This grim backdrop sets the tone without overshadowing the action. Gameplay takes center stage. Movement is fluid and responsive, allowing seamless transitions between attacks, dodges, and jumps. The arsenal is vast, ranging from heavy swords to bows and spells, encouraging creative combinations. Each run unlocks new abilities, shifting playstyles and keeping combat fresh. Environments are diverse and unpredictable. Damp prisons, crumbling towers, and fiery caves appear in different sequences each attempt, reinforcing the sense that nothing is fixed. This variety fuels constant discovery even after many hours. Detailed pixel art, enhanced by lighting effects, brings every setting to life. What sets Dead Cells apart is its pace. There's no room to rest, as fast movement and aggressive enemies demand constant focus. This nonstop flow of action, combined with the unpredictability of maps, makes every run unique, creating a cycle of adrenaline that leaves no space for monotony. Nier Automata is one of those games that blends philosophy, action, and emotion into a single work. The story follows androids sent to battle machines in a distant future, but it quickly becomes clear that the war is just the backdrop for deeper reflections on identity, purpose, and what it means to be human. Each narrative route adds layers, building a complex and unforgettable story. Combat mixes the fluidity of hack and slash with RPG elements. Battles are fast and intense, allowing instant weapon swaps, combos, and dodges. The chip customization system adds depth, letting you shape your fighting style, giving both freedom and strategy to combat. Environments range from ruined cities to vast deserts and decaying factories, always evoking melancholy. Artistic direction uses contrast to highlight a world long devoid of life, but still holding beauty in its destruction. This atmosphere, combined with enemy design, creates a universe as captivating as the narrative itself. What's most striking about Nier Automata is how it fuses emotion with gameplay. The choices you make, the battles you fight, and even the act of playing tie into its greater message. Few games weave reflection into action so naturally, and that's what makes it truly memorable. Marvel's Spider-Man delivers the definitive feeling of wearing the suit of Marvel's most beloved hero. The story follows an experienced Peter Parker balancing personal life with the challenges of facing iconic villains threatening New York. The narrative is full of emotion, offering both epic sequences and intimate moments that deepen the connection with the character. Gameplay is one of its strongest achievements. The web-swinging system is fluid and intuitive, making city traversal as fun as combat itself. In battles, agile moves, special abilities, and environmental interaction create exciting, varied encounters. Suit and skill upgrades keep progression engaging throughout. New York is recreated with incredible detail. Every skyscraper, glowing avenue, and lively corner reinforces immersion. The open world isn't just a backdrop, but an essential part of the experience, always inviting exploration. The city's dynamism strengthens the feeling of truly living as the hero. What makes Marvel's Spider-Man so special is the sense of freedom. You're not just playing as the hero, you're living as him, balancing responsibilities while facing growing threats. This blend of heartfelt storytelling and dynamic gameplay makes every detail shine and keeps the excitement constant. Monster Hunter World makes hunting monsters feel more epic than ever. The story sends you on an expedition to explore the new world, a wild land filled with colossal creatures. The goal isn't just to defeat them, but to understand the balance of an ecosystem where every species has a role, turning each hunt into a story of survival. Each mission showcases why the series is so unique. Weapons are varied and require mastery, from massive blades to long-range bows. Combat isn't fast-paced like other action games, but strategic. You must study patterns, strike at the right moment, and manage resources. This makes each hard-earned victory feel especially rewarding. The world itself is alive. Lush forests, scorching deserts, and dangerous swamps create environments that impress visually and shape each hunt. Vertical maps and environmental interaction make exploration as important as combat, strengthening the sense of being part of a living ecosystem. Engagement doesn't just come from fighting, but also from the cycle of preparation and reward. Forging weapons, crafting armor, and readying for the next hunt are part of the loop that keeps the game in motion. It's a title that goes beyond defeating monsters, turning every hunt into an adventure full of discoveries and challenges. Right from the opening moments, Ori and the Will of the Wisps proves it's not just a sequel, but an emotional and mechanical evolution of the first game. The story follows Ori's journey to restore balance to a collapsing world, weaving tenderness and sorrow into each step. Every beat of the narrative carries emotional weight, amplifying the impact of the journey. The gameplay system is fluid like few others. Ori's movements have been refined, allowing for precise jumps, wall runs, and abilities that blend seamlessly with level design. Battles against enemies and bosses are fast and intense, demanding both reflexes and creativity in using newly acquired powers. The visuals are stunning in their detail. Forests glowing with ethereal light, shadowy swamps, and vibrant landscapes give each environment a distinct identity. The art style combines delicacy with intensity, making the world feel alive yet fragile. It's a visual spectacle that amplifies the emotional atmosphere of the story. What truly defines Ori and the Will of the Wisps is how gameplay and emotion move together. Every new ability is not only a tool for progress, but also a symbol of growth in the journey. It's a game that makes you care equally about the challenges and the fate of its characters, keeping its impact strong from start to finish. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice delivers an intense narrative of honor, vengeance, and sacrifice in a feudal Japan scarred by war and legend. You step into the role of a shinobi sworn to rescue his master and uphold an unbreakable promise, but each step uncovers formidable enemies and disturbing secrets. It's a story not just about fighting, but about persistence and faith in the face of the impossible. Combat is the core of the experience, demanding sharp reflexes and mastery of the posture system. Unlike other action games, victory here depends on deflecting attacks at the exact moment and wearing down an enemy's defense until it breaks. The prosthetic arm adds depth, offering creative tools against brutal adversaries. Each duel is a true test of patience and technique. The setting reinforces both the brutality and the beauty of the journey. War-torn villages, mist-covered temples, and valleys crawling with grotesque creatures create unforgettable backdrops. Vertical design lets you explore in unexpected ways, uncovering shortcuts and secrets that reward curiosity. Every area feels hostile yet brimming with mystery. What makes Sekiro unforgettable is the raw emotion of every victory. Defeating a boss isn't just progress, it's conquering a barrier that felt impossible moments earlier. This cycle of defeat, learning, and triumph creates euphoria that lingers in memory. It's a game that demands dedication, but pays it back in epic triumphs. Days Gone presents a survival journey along desolate highways, where your motorcycle becomes the most important bond between you and the world. The narrative follows a man scarred by loss, searching for meaning in a world ravaged by pandemic. Along the way, violent factions and relentless hordes of infected heighten the despair, while small glimpses of humanity keep hope alive. Gameplay makes the bike more than transport. It's essential to survival, Fueling, repairing, and upgrading it creates a strong sense of connection. Combat mixes intense firefights with tactical ambushes, supported by traps and improvised weapons. The hordes are the centerpiece, hundreds of enemies swarming at once, forcing quick thinking and precise execution. The open world is vast and striking. Dense forests, snowy mountain regions, and abandoned towns form a map that feels constantly shifting. Dynamic weather and the day-night cycle transform each ride into something unique, where beauty and terror coexist on the same road. This variety keeps the world alive and unpredictable. What makes Days Gone memorable is its constant uncertainty. Safety is never guaranteed. What looks like a calm ride can turn into a desperate battle within seconds. This unpredictability strengthens the bond with the bike, the characters, and the world itself, creating a tense and emotional journey that lasts until the very end. Immortals: Fenyx Rising delivers an adventure filled with humor and mythology, balancing lighthearted storytelling with epic moments. The story follows Fenyx, an unlikely warrior who must face mythological creatures and fallen gods. Witty dialogue and grand encounters strike a unique balance between comedy and heroism. Gameplay blends exploration, combat, and environmental puzzles. Battles are fast and fluid, using legendary weapons, magic, and skills that combine into devastating sequences. The wings of Daedalus let you soar and glide across landscapes, completely reshaping navigation. Fights against mythical beasts bring creative and varied challenges. The world is vibrant and inspired by Greek mythology. Golden fields, towering temples, and secret-filled caves create a map bursting with life and color. Its cartoony art style emphasizes playfulness while still delivering beauty and detail that enrich every exploration. What makes Immortals: Fenyx Rising stand out is the sense of freedom. Soaring through the skies, clashing with legendary beasts, and solving intricate puzzles keep the pace shifting between action and reflection. It's a game that charms through variety and a tone distinct from most open-world RPGs. Tales of Arise dives into a story of oppression and freedom, where two peoples are locked in conflict. The narrative follows characters from opposing worlds uniting to fight tyranny and pursue equality. This premise opens space for emotional bonds, moral dilemmas, and moments that swing between drama and hope. Combat is dynamic, focusing on combos and synergy between party members. Each character has unique skills that, when combined, unleash spectacular, powerful attacks. The artes and specialization system ensures each battle feels both strategic and thrilling, with the constant sense of leading heroes to greatness. The visual design is rich and diverse. Blooming fields, industrial cities, and mysterious caves showcase the variety of the world. Its high-definition anime style brings characters' expressions to life and heightens the spectacle of magic-filled battles, making every moment visually impactful. What makes Tales of Arise special is how story and gameplay move together. Battles aren't just obstacles, they're milestones in the struggle for freedom. Every victory feels like another step toward liberation, giving the journey emotional weight that keeps it powerful until the end. It Takes Two is a game built entirely around co-op, and that alone makes it one of the most creative experiences in recent years. The story follows a couple on the verge of separation who, due to a spell, are transformed into dolls. From there, they must work together on a journey full of challenges to recover their human forms. The narrative blends humor, drama, and heartfelt moments that resonate with anyone. Gameplay is a showcase of variety. Every level introduces new mechanics, constantly forcing the duo to adapt. Sometimes you're using nails and hammers to traverse stages. Other times you're wielding magical powers that completely change the way the game plays. This constant reinvention ensures there's never repetition, keeping the pace fresh, surprising, and fun. The environments highlight the game's creativity. From lush gardens to house interiors, turned into fantastical worlds, every setting has its own identity. The vibrant, detailed art direction creates a world that feels magical yet familiar. This balance makes every stage a visual surprise that keeps immersion high. What makes It Takes Two shine is how it ties narrative and gameplay together. The game doesn't just talk about cooperation, it demands cooperation in every mechanic, turning the characters' relationship into an essential part of the experience. It's a title that blends fun, challenge, and emotion in a rare way, standing as one of the greats in its genre. Katana Zero dives into a dark, fragmented story full of mysteries revealed bit by bit. You play as a contract assassin haunted by trauma, drugs that distort perception, and increasingly disturbing visions. The narrative combines stylized action with psychological depth, creating a story that grips you until the very end. Gameplay is sharp and fast, with combat built around reflexes. Each stage feels like a bloody puzzle where you must eliminate enemies with calculated moves and clever katana use. The ability to slow down time adds a strategic layer, letting you plan attacks in the middle of chaos. The pixel art style gives the game a strong identity. Neon-lit cities, grimy hallways, and secret labs evoke a futuristic noir atmosphere. This design supports the heavy, ominous tone of the story while delivering a stylish, memorable look. Every detail intensifies both the narrative and the combat. What makes Katana Zero so impactful is the way it fuses mechanics with story. Every death, every reset, every twist plays into the narrative, constantly reshaping your perception. It's a short game, but intensely memorable, echoing long after you've finished. Slay the Spire revolutionized card games by merging deck building with roguelike elements. The premise seems simple: climb a tower full of enemies and dangers, but each floor brings choices that can completely change the course of your run. The narrative is minimal, yet the sense of facing something ever more daunting gives the climb a near-mythic weight. The core mechanic lies in deck construction. Every card represents an attack, defense, or ability, and choosing which to keep or discard is key to survival. This constant adaptation makes each run unique, since the available deck is never the same. Balancing luck and strategy keeps you on edge throughout. The visuals lean into simplicity but carry plenty of personality. Strange creatures, eerie settings, and imposing bosses make you feel like you're trapped in an abstract nightmare. This unusual aesthetic sets it apart from other card games, turning every battle into something tense and unpredictable. What makes Slay the Spire stand out is its depth. You never feel like you're just playing cards, you're building a machine of possibilities that must work in perfect sync. That sense of creating and adapting ensures every run feels unique and memorable, even after dozens of hours. Returnal is one of the most intense experiences of the current generation, blending sci-fi with third-person roguelike elements. The story follows Celine, a space explorer trapped in a time loop on a hostile planet. Every death resets the cycle, but new fragments of the story are revealed, weaving together psychological horror and cosmic mystery. Combat is electrifying, built around constant movement. Celine dashes, dodges, and fires against enemies that unleash near-hypnotic bullet patterns. Weapons and artifacts found in each cycle create new possibilities, making every run feel distinct. The high difficulty reinforces the desperation of fighting for survival. Alien landscapes make a striking impression. Ancient ruins, storm-lashed deserts, and bizarre forests form a world that feels alive yet threatening. The atmosphere intensifies the story's weight, amplifying the isolation of being trapped within something greater and incomprehensible. Each area is a blend of beauty and terror. What makes Returnal unforgettable is how it ties narrative to mechanics. The loop isn't just a gameplay gimmick, it's woven into the story itself, with each attempt serving as a step in Celine's journey. It's a game that challenges, surprises, and sustains tension at all times, delivering pure intensity. Lies of P reimagines the Pinocchio fable as a gothic nightmare, where innocence is replaced by a city overrun with deranged automatons. The story throws you into a world of secrets, manipulation, and choices that test morality, wrapped in a heavy, unsettling atmosphere. It's a fairy tale twisted into horror, where truth and lies shape destiny. Combat follows the Souls-like formula, emphasizing patience and precision. Every enemy demands careful observation and fast reactions, with mistakes punished harshly. The protagonist's mechanical arm adds variety, doubling as a weapon or tool for creative strategies. The weight of each strike heightens the brutality of combat. The setting is one of the game's strongest aspects, inspired by 19th century European cities. Decaying streets, lavish mansions, and gear-filled factories paint a melancholic but fascinating world. Detailed architecture and dark mood make exploration as captivating as combat, always hinting at secrets hiding in the shadows. What sets Lies of P apart is its use of choice and consequence. Lying isn't just a narrative twist, it actively shapes the storyline and characters' fates. This mix of intense combat and layered storytelling keeps curiosity and challenge intertwined, driving you forward. Tunic may look simple at first, with its cute fox protagonist and colorful world, but it quickly reveals a deep, secret-filled adventure. The story is told wordlessly, pushing you to piece together scattered fragments of lore. This mysterious approach creates a constant sense of discovery. Gameplay blends classic action-adventure with modern mechanics. Combat requires care, even small enemies can be deadly if underestimated. Items and abilities expand your options, keeping progression engaging and full of surprises. The environments are striking, ranging from forests to caves to cryptic ruins. Minimalist visuals with vibrant colors hide surprising depth. The world design encourages exploration, rewarding curiosity with shortcuts, secrets, and revelations. What makes Tunic special is the constant sense of mystery. With no direct guidance, every step feels like a personal discovery, as though you're unraveling a forbidden truth. That feeling of solving a grand puzzle turns the journey into something unforgettable, gripping from start to finish. Hollow Knight is the kind of game that starts small and quiet, but soon reveals the grandeur of its universe. The story unfolds in Hallownest, a ruined underground kingdom inhabited by insects, forgotten warriors, and mysteries slowly uncovered. The narrative isn't delivered directly, but fragmented through encounters, symbols, and subtle dialogues, giving the player the sense of unraveling a greater enigma. It's a tale about decay and memory, but also about courage in the face of the unknown. Combat, though simple at first, gains depth as the journey progresses. Each enemy has distinct patterns, and bosses become real walls to break through, demanding patience, reflexes, and careful study of movements. Over time, new abilities like dash, wall jump, and powerful spells expand mobility, making exploration and battles increasingly complex. This steady growth creates a true sense of evolution, turning the player into part of that journey. The environments are a spectacle of their own, with hand-drawn art that blends beauty and melancholy in equal measure. Deep caverns, abandoned cities, and underground forests carry a unique identity, combining somber tones with subtle details. Each area conveys its own atmosphere, reinforcing the feeling of solitude and mystery. It feels like the world breathes on its own, guarding secrets only persistent exploration can uncover. The impact of Hollow Knight lies in the balance between difficulty and reward. Each defeat brings learning, and each victory carries triumph. Exploring Hollow Knight is more than crossing maps, it's about uncovering hidden stories, facing challenges that seem impossible, and feeling that every step forward was earned. This cycle of discovery and perseverance is what makes it one of the most remarkable games in the genre. Hades reshaped the roguelike genre by merging deep storytelling with frantic combat in a single loop. The plot follows Zagreus, son of Hades, as he fights to escape the underworld and uncover the truth about his origins. But every death isn't just failure, it brings new interactions with the gods of Olympus, fresh dialogues, and revelations that expand the story. This approach ensures the narrative never stops growing, keeping curiosity alive with every attempt. Gameplay is fast, fluid, and endlessly versatile. Weapons completely change how you play, ranging from swift swords to spears, bows, and even magical fists. In every run, the gods grant different powers that create unique combinations, making each escape attempt unpredictable. This system ensures combat never feels repetitive, since the possibilities for builds and strategies are virtually limitless. The layers of the underworld are also spectacular in their own right. From the suffocating Tartarus to the radiant Elysium, each stage of the Greek afterlife has its own enemies, challenges, and bosses that feel insurmountable. The visual design is vibrant, stylized, and full of energy, creating a striking contrast with the heavy mythological setting. This artistic identity makes every run memorable, even when it ends in defeat. What truly sets Hades apart is how it turns repetition into a core part of the story. Dying doesn't just mean starting over, it means pushing the narrative forward, unlocking new dialogues, and strengthening Zagreus. This fusion of plot and gameplay makes every attempt meaningful, creating a cycle of action, frustration, and reward that keeps the game alive for dozens of hours. It's a rare blend of intensity and depth. So tell me, has one of these games ever kept you up all night without even noticing the time pass? Share your stories in the comments, I'd love to hear them. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe because every bit of support helps the channel grow. And this is just the start. There's so much more waiting for you here. Lists of incredible games, recommendations that might become your next obsession, and gameplays that dive deep into these fantastic worlds. Take a look, I'm sure you'll find something that grabs you just as much as these titles. A big hug, enjoy your gameplay, and see you tomorrow.